Shalom, Israel. It's your brother New Breed coming through with another live stream. I'm going to give YouTube a few moments to send those notifications out. I see people rolling in the chat. Curry Smoke, Elohim's Chosen, Citizen Soldiers in the building. Mayor MC, Abby Boykins, LCN, Sophia, IMO. Peace and blessings to everybody joining. Peace and blessings. And Lloyd Matthews, you're right. It is knowledge time. There has been a very disturbing TikTok challenge that a lot of interracial couples are now participating in. And the challenge is rather cringeworthy. I believe the challenge is called This My Master. For those who are unfamiliar with this particular challenge, I will be playing brief clips of it a little bit later on down the broadcast. The challenge is rather insensitive to our plight as quote unquote Black people. It's just alarming that Black Lives Matter, the divestors, no one who claim to be pro-Black are actually speaking in regards to this challenge. It's very disheartening, the times that we're living in right now. With all that we've been through as a nation of people, you would think that we would begin to really educate ourselves, inform ourselves to our history. Now, a lot of individuals I've seen taking part in this particular challenge seem to be people that are a little bit younger, probably uninformed about their actual history. And in textbooks these days, they are teaching the youth that slavery was an actual choice. They are teaching it as if it was voluntary servitude. Believe it or not, that's what's going on in the textbooks. And I don't think, at least I don't want to believe. I don't want to believe that these individuals participating are just that far down a rabbit hole. But some of the individuals I've seen taking part in that challenge, yeah, they need to attend this barbecue right here. Because there will be a barbecue taking place. Now, my first question is, where is the divestors? Where are the divestors? Now, let me be real clear about this. I got to be very tactful with covering this particular challenge. And the reason I must be tactful is because what they want is to trigger melanated men, because that's what it's really about. It is an extreme hatred towards melanated men. Unrighteous, wicked women are being used to spearhead this hatred and this vigor. They want us to react like the angry Black man. That's what they want. Well, I am not going to feed in to your negative stereotypes. See, what's happening right now is a lot of us melanated brothers are actually becoming emotionally intelligent. And I understand that they want to promote the same stereotypes, that we don't know how to deal with situations without denigrating, reviling, or verbally abusing an individual. Nah, I will not feed into those stereotypes. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share the video with you all to show you what this challenge is, so I can really further inform you on what I'm actually reacting to, what I'm seeing here. Fair use federal law allows citizens to redistribute portions of copywritten material for the purposes of teaching, edification, and so forth. Let's get to it. Somebody said BLM is about making money. That's a fact. That's all they're about. But when it comes to how we're being portrayed on mainstream media and so forth, you never hear them or see them come to our defense whatsoever. Allow me to share my screen with you all. This massa. This massa. Stomp back, who you with? This my massa. Wow. The hair pulling, everything. Look at what we're seeing here. This massa. Wow. This massa. Now these people, they should know better. Look at this. Wow. This massa. This massa. This massa. Ladies and gentlemen, your eyes did not deceive you. Your eyes did not deceive you. Wow. Where do we start here? You know, I've came to the conclusion that these evil women out here, let's start with them first. They have no fear of judgment from the Almighty. They have no shame, no guilt on the fact that they sold their souls. That's first and foremost. Secondly, as a melanated man, I'm not the only one who should be offended by this. As a man who has daughters, as a man who is educated on what slavery has done to us. You know who else should be offended? All interracial couples. All interracial couples should be speaking out against this. Now, I'm going to give some education here. I'm going to give some information here, right? I want to talk a little bit about the sexploitation of Black women from the years of 1619 to 2020. There's something I want to read to y'all. And this is a short sermon, a short script or what have you from Dominique R. Wilson. And I must go ahead and read this. The appalling history of slavery in the United States is something that will be ingrained in its fiber, in its dirt, between 1690 and 1865. Slaves, males and females, were stolen from their native countries and brought to America only to be subjected to grueling labor, mental and physical pain, and divested of the rudimentary human rights of life and liberty. They were beaten heartlessly, disunited from loved ones, at the will of slave owners, and regardless of sex, considered property by law. There are paramount factors that distinguish the treatment of male slaves from female slaves. For example, field work was divided along gender lines, with the more physically demanding tasks assigned to males. A major difference, however, was the slave owner's exploitation of the Black female's sexuality. Wow. And we're still in 2022 seeing the sex exploitation of Black female sexuality right here in the forefront. For this reason, historical analysts might shed light on how current sexual and reproductive health outcomes and body images of Black women have been shaped by years of racism. The treatment of Black females who were slaves has contributed to disparities in sexual and reproductive health today. So even to this day, they were so brutally violated in slavery that their sexual reproductive health has been affected through generations. That's how bad they were doing these women in slavery. This is how bad they were doing what they would call back then bed wenches, violating them to no end. But where is your divestors who claim that the black male is the enemy, that these women should go and go get themselves a white man? Because that's what they teaching online, trying to trigger us, trying to make us upset because it's only nature that we will want to protect these women the same way we were unable to protect them during slavery. But where's the divestors? What's real troubling in these videos is that these quote unquote Caucasian males, they were willing participants. They were willing participants. They knew what the challenge was. They didn't mind grabbing one of these sisters by the hair. They didn't mind grabbing one of these sisters by the collar and treating them how they want to be treated. Wow, you can't make this stuff up. The treatment of black females who were slaves has contributed to the disparities in sexual and reproductive health even today. The experience that female slaves endured included public nudity, nude physical auction examinations to determine reproductive ability, R word for sexual pleasure, and for economic purposes, reproducing children who could become slaves. Intentional abortion to women who were pregnant as a result of R word, generational poverty, and hypersexualization for adolescent black female slaves who were subjected to their masters' desires. Wow. But where is Black Lives Matter? Where are those who are supposed to care about these women? Where are they? Because it seems to me the same ones that they like to go against, the same melanated men that they like to disparage, that they like to make content on, that they like to demonize, seems to be the same people who are the only ones coming to the defense of our women. Wow. I think we need to see this again. And then they playing slave music right after. Wade in the water, children, wade. You know, I'm not going to be upset. I'm not going to be angry. I am not going to get in my feelings about this. If this what these demonic evil women want to do, let them go. They part of the 2/3. You know what the scriptures tell us? The scriptures say that an adulterous woman will wipe her mouth and saith, I have done no wickedness. That's Proverbs 30 and 20. Brothers, 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 brothers of the congregation, a lot of you brothers, when you go out there and you get yourself a Caucasian woman, you are plastered, postered all over left-wing liberal media. You are made to look like an enemy. You are held accountable for one Carlton Banks. You brothers are continuously held to standards that these wicked Jezebel demonized women are not held to. It is constant. You get one brother that say, hey, I do not want to take part in being with melanated women anymore because that is my preference. You got brothers in the rap industry, rappers, all kind of artists that say, look, they don't like dealing with melanated women, and that's just a preference. And they get demonized, they get canceled, they get shunned, they get bashed all over the media. But when our women, I want you to understand this, when our women participate in the utter disrespect and disregard for our plight, nobody on the media attacks them at all. Nobody says anything, not even the woke crowd. Somebody said they hire actors to cause conflict. They didn't hire these people. That's the world that we live in. One of the real questions is why allow this to stay on TikTok? TikTok is racist. TikTok is a sick place. TikTok, we running out of time. This is something that should be taken down for racial insensitivity. If this was placed on any other platform, it would be removed immediately. Our people can be continually disrespected in the public and nobody says anything. Elohim's Chosen says this is just a psychological warfare by CIA pushing this madness, and they playing a part on the agenda. And they know it's degrading, but turn around and say, we ain't protected. Black women, 2/3. That's a fact. That's a fact. These same women will turn around and say they are not protected, but then show their actual vile ways. Wow, look at the grin on her face. Oh, wow. Is that not sexually suggestive? She bent over, got her hair pulled. And these people right here, they got to be in their damn 30s. Will somebody come look at this? Let me blow the screen up. These people have got to be in their 30s. And they're proud. Let me go here again. Let's go back. Because I don't think these ladies out here understand what's taking place here. The physical as well as psychological struggles that came with childbearing were enormous for enslaved women. They were expected to put the needs of the master and his family before those of their own children. The slave mother on large plantations returned to the field soon after giving birth. Yeah, you ain't getting no time off. The master didn't give a damn, leaving the child to be raised by others. On smaller plantations, the responsibilities of slave mothers were simple. Added to the usual duties, slave mothers often intentionally stayed in bondage to avoid being separated from their child, while their male counterpart attempted to escape. You see where we have this wedge? You see where this separation comes into play? They felt unprotected, and somehow through psychological abuse, these women decided to bow down to white zaddy. And you know, it's ironic. We live in a society right now where a lot of melanated men are trying to get their own businesses started. They're trying to do what's right. They're trying to elevate, create generational wealth, build longevity. And they need the help of their sisters. They need the help of their counterparts, of their women. And these women, they didn't mind going to work for the master. No, they didn't mind that. They didn't mind going to work a 9 to 5, answering phones, you know, fixing the books. Yeah, when you checked into your job, when you clock in every day, you don't mind, hey, yes, sir. Whatever you need, sir. Oh, you put on your best behavior for your massa. You put on your best behavior. You put on your Sunday's best. Your countenance is light and bright. You're prancing around that place, putting on a smile. Hey, you even put on a blonde wig if it make them feel a little more comfortable, right? But your own men, nah, you don't feel like you need to be submissive. You don't feel like you need to be subjected to your man. Crazy stuff. Now look at these people. Do they look like young people to you? They should know their history. Let's continue.
Massa. Beef mouth massa. Beef mouth massa.
Wow.
Beef mouth massa.
Wow. Somebody said, those black men be insecure when their black woman pressure them. No, we only want them to elevate. I'm not even sure what that's supposed to mean. Bree Garza says this is weird to see. How is this even a thing? Exactly. Very cringeworthy stuff. Very cringeworthy stuff. And it's like they expect brothers to be upset. Nah, listen, brothers, don't be mad at this. Let me make this clear. I want you brothers to have a clear mind and a light heart. The only reason I even decided to cover this particular topic is for the sake of those who don't know their history, for those who don't know what they're doing. Listen, the divestors, these Jezebels, these harlots that really don't want to play on the side of righteousness, hey, the Most High is watching them and they're going to be dealt with. And all you brothers who are thinking about interracial dating, listen, let me put this out here. I'm going to say this loud and clear. I'm going to say this bold as ever. I don't care what any of the religious institutions, I don't care what awakened Israelites, quote unquote, awakened Israelites have to say. I don't care what anybody has to say when I say this. If your woman serves you and the God that you follow, and she is willing to put away all her pagan practices, and she is submissive, she serves you, she is right for you, go get that woman. Yeah, yeah. I'm saying that loud and clear. If you are a man who has a Caucasian wife, if you have a wife of another nation and she serves you, she serves whatever God you serve. Don't allow the media to ever make you feel alienated from your people. Don't allow the media to make you feel upset, to make you feel bad, because guess what? The media is not going to do that to them. The media is not going to do that to the black woman. The media is not going to tell the black woman she's wrong for anything. Y'all got to understand, fellas, in their minds, they are never wrong. Never. Even when they wrong, they right. Even when it's things that they're supposed to be held accountable for, nobody's going to step up and do it. But they want you brothers to feel bad. If you want to date outside in an interracial relationship, do what it is that you brothers is going to do as long as she following your God. Because you know what? There's a lot of quote unquote Jake women, melanated women who serve Satan. They serve the devil. They love the enemy. And I'm not saying that white people are the enemy. I'm not on that low level. Like I said, a lot of you interracial couples, including you white males, should be very offended by this. Matter of fact, I shouldn't even have to be the one that covered this. It should have been one of these blonde haired, blue eyed white males who stepped up and say, hey, this is insensitive. This is wrong. You're living in a society right now where they're giving you all kind of alternative lifestyle hoopla. All lines are skewed when it comes to gender and sexuality, and everybody's offended with everything. Even when you speak basic science, basic biology, people are offended. But you mean to tell me in a land of woke, pro-black, black fists, Black Lives Matter, I'm too woke to be sleep society we live in, nobody has nothing to say about these TikTok challenges? Hmm. Just seems a little bit strange to me. It is an all-out attack on you melanated men. You brothers, get you a woman who's obedient, get you a woman who wants to serve you, get you a woman who represents um, class and personifies a feminine essence. Stay away from these demonic women. Stay away from them. Somebody said Kanye was right. No, he went and got him a Kim Kardashian. And who knows? I'm not even going to speak on her. Maybe Kim was right for him. Maybe he messed up. Sometimes those brothers mess up too. But the bottom line is, do what it is you're going to do as a man. Somebody said divide and conquer. Somebody said get these Gentiles out of here who don't understand the Bible. Somebody said it's hard to find a godly woman that looks good nowadays. Somebody said Kim Kardashian is evil. Yeah, I pretty much agree with most of those sentiments. Yep, somebody said if you have to degrade yourself to get with another race, you have failed. Oh no, we're gonna read a little more. We're gonna read a little more here. In addition to being a slave reader, I want y'all to listen to this. Oh man, this is profound. This article is profound. I recommend anybody read it. Tragically, the enslaved mothers face the possibility of witnessing their daughters suffering the same fate of essentially being a breeder for the slave master. In addition to being a slave breeder, they were also the subjects of experimental gynecology and reproductive surgeries, which were often performed with no anesthesia. Wow. They were gouging you ladies in slavery. Some sources estimate that 58% of all women aged 15 through 30 years old were sexually assaulted by their slave owners and other white men. It is dismayed to consider the mental state of those who endured such treatment and disheartening to develop a hypnotist as to whether all or not some of the experiences that Black women faced during the duration of slavery are listed above. Wow. You know what they said about you melanated women? You know what they said about y'all in slavery? The reason, how they reasoned with themselves with the punishment and torture they did. They said you were just innately sexual beings. You were not humans. They didn't look at you like mothers. They said you were just innately sexual beings so they can exploit you. That you didn't have a mindset where you can be considered an actual woman. Yeah. In their eyes, you were just a bed wench. Somebody said, check out that book, Medical Apathy by Harriet A. Washington. Yeah, that sounds like a good one. Oh, it was a lot more than them just, gutting you, doing reproductive experiments on you. Yeah. Um, for those who don't know, they were actually also boiling you alive. When you got out of line, yeah, you ladies, the ones, that these sisters are calling master, the ancestors, yeah, what they were doing was they were boiling you alive. And then on top of that, they was taking your children and they were feeding them to alligators. Yeah. They were feeding your babies to gators after boiling you alive. Fast forward to 2022.
This mouth massa. This mouth massa. This mouth massa. This mouth massa.
Where are where are the divestors? Where are they? Where are the divestors who claim that we are the enemy? Wow. Yeah, somebody said, bro, I posted a video on that TikTok trend today and it's crazy you covering this. Yeah, I had to cover this because you got a lot of divestors attacking a lot of melanated men. You got people you basically claiming that we are all we're just all angry and we're all um maniacal, whoremonger, psychotic men. But I want to break those stereotypes. I'm actually going to educate. I'm educating these sisters, even do this shameful challenge. Christina says, but why are they partaking in these odd, malicious media experiments? Why do they act this way? It's actually, it is actually an attack on melanated men. See, let me educate you, sister. We are at war. We are in a war. There's a war taking place, and throughout time, in every war, the spoils of war has been women. So what's being done, the reason why these men didn't mind participating in this horrendous act is to show us that we have your women. We have your women. We are winning the war. We have your women. Every time war took place, they would take the women. That will be the spoils. They called them the booty. Ironically enough, that's where the word booty comes from. When they would go to war with our people, our women having all of that junk in the trunk, they would call that booty because booty is the spoils of war. Yeah, a lot of people didn't know that. So they're disrespecting the melanated man because they expect us to basically react in a very aggressive way. But that ain't how I'm reacting. I'm telling y'all brothers right now, if these women want to play these type of games, what I'm saying to you is don't allow the media to shame you for wanting to interracially date because they got brothers afraid to give other nations a chance. I'm gonna tell you right now, if a woman's from another nation and that woman wants to follow the God of Israel, and that woman is not involved in any paganism, and that woman is feminine and wants to serve, I'm not gonna limit myself to what type of female I could deal with based on this woke nation. Because obviously they not all that awoke. Obviously they not all that awoke. And I believe that all these interracial couples, they should be offended by this. Whether it be melanated or Caucasian, you should be offended by such a challenge. When are people going to start stepping up and actually having some of these things removed off of TikTok? Yeah, it's really a matter of the spirit. I don't gauge a person based on, their outward appearance. I just don't. It is what it is. But this challenge is downright disgusting. They looked at our women in slavery as just being seductive, alluring, beguiling, worldly, tempting, and lewd. Historically, white women are categorized and portrayed as models, self-respective, self-control, modest, sexually purity. But black women are portrayed as innately promiscuous and even predatory. Yeah, innately promiscuous and even predatory. A Jezebel is a common stereotypical representation of the black woman. A worldly seductress, depicted an alluring and seductive black woman who is highly sexualized and valued purely on her sexuality. That's what our women are becoming. And then you got this whole thing going on with Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. I ain't never seen so much cap in all my life. When she sat down with Gayle King, I ain't never seen so much cap in all of my days. And it's crazy how they do it. They'll start everything off explaining how Meg Thee Stallion came from nothing and she's made something of herself. They tell her story, her upbringing, and then they show how she made it. They show her twerking, shaking, body yaddy, 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 yaddy. Because it's all about her body, yaddy, 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 yaddy. Right? And then they start asking questions about her upbringing. And all it takes is that melanated woman to come to tears. And this is why they call him Jezebel. Because all they got to do is manipulate, come to tears. My upbringing was so hard. Let me tell you something. These demented, twisted, sick women that's out here, brothers, they can cry you a river, blow snot bubbles, sniffing and snorting and everything, and be telling you a lie. It ain't no evil like that when a woman can bubble her nose with snot, cry, everything, and be a bold face lie. And at the same time, using emotionalism in one hand, but in the other hand, using her sexuality. It ain't no more, it ain't nothing more evil than that. I'm telling you. Christina says, Newbury, you are on some nonsense. Um, can you say you're also hateful and also biased? No, because there's a lot that I could say. I'm actually holding back on all the things that I could say about what I'm seeing in this video. This is not my initial response to this video, sister. I feel like I'm dealing with this class personified. I see. Here's the thing. Thank you for blocking us, Sophia. Appreciate it. She needed to be blocked because I'm being nothing but respectful. I given you the history on why most people who have any education on our history would be offended, but I'm still dealing with it with class. Because my initial response, seeing this, was not how I'm reacting. But I'm learning. I'm growing as a person, and I'm learning not to be reactionary. I'm learning to be more responsive, less reactionary. True love, thank you for the $20 super sticker. I highly appreciate it. Thank you for the support. And here's the thing, I don't want to go into any racial tangents. I don't want to race bait. I don't have an issue with Caucasian men. I don't have an issue with melanated women, but I have an issue with this challenge. I have an issue with the insensitivity on our people. I have an issue with the fact that nobody who is supposed to be woke are speaking out against this. So I don't know what kind of guilty conscience you must be harboring, but it's not like that over here. Now, let's read a little more here because this is a very interesting article. And this one here is from Journal of Race, Gender, and Ethnicity. So I'm reading a few little things here to educate the people. Within the bounds of slavery, masters often felt it was their right to engage in sexual activity with enslaved black women. Sometimes enslaved black women to advance the hoping that such relationships will increase in the chances that their children will be liberated by the master. So they felt obligated to have sex with these men in order to try to save their children because their children were getting either sold into captivity or they were being used as gator bait or sex slaves from the beginning because you had a lot of pedophilic masters that was on that plantation. Forever Love, thank you for the $10 super sticker. I appreciate you. Thank you for the support. Delonte Jones says, that's exactly what it is, bro. Guilty conscious. You know what they say? If you throw a rock at a pack of dogs, the first one that holler is hit. Absolutely. Real talk. And everybody thumb the video up. We almost at 1,000 in here. Let's get it. Let's educate the people. Noise, thank you for the $5 contribution. Says, hey, New Breed, I just wanted to come on here and say that I completely cut my addiction to lust. And now I'm talking to the girl of my dreams. God is good. All praises to the Most High. I'm glad you found the right woman, my brother. See, that's what happened when you go on semen retention and you gain some discipline over yourself. The laws of attraction become very real, and you end up gravitating towards a woman, and she gravitate towards you that are like mind. Yeah, and this is real disturbing. I mean, this is something that somebody shared to me, and initially I wanted to like really go in. I really did. But see, that would be part of the stereotype. That's what they would want to see from us. This is warfare. This is warfare. Romans chapter 7, verse 3. So that if, while her husband liveth, she be married to another man, she shall be called an adulteress. But if her husband be dead, she is free from that law. So that she is no adulteress, though she be married to another man. Now, the reason I went to that scripture is because, hey, the melanated men, that's who you're supposed to be dealing with. But they killed us in their minds. Spiritually, they've destroyed us in their minds. They went through the whole rigmarole of tearing us down. And I'm gonna tell you, brothers, a lot of these women are gone, man. They're gone. They're gone. And a lot of them have been with melanated men. But because they were hurt in some way, they wasn't trying to be with that one man. And hey, they went on, they moved on. And they a lot of women who go to other races is a lot of the times it's done because they're bitter. But sometimes it's just their upbringing and who they're surrounded by. So I don't want to stereotype, but a lot of the times it's because they've been hurt by a melanated man. But it is what it is, brothers and sisters. I just wanted to come through with this quick video. I got more content coming. Um, don't fall into the charades, the smoke and mirrors, brothers. Keep your cool. Don't let them trigger you, but also don't let them pressure you into being pigeonholed or being feeling ashamed for dating outside your race when we got this kind of lunacy going on. The Lion Bro G, thank you for the $10 contribution. Says much respect. Other than this response, what's the solution or counter to this sick culture we're in? Thank you for your dedication. God bless. All praises to the Most High. That's a great question. Um, well, I would say this, brother. A solution to countering this sick culture is actually educating your offspring. Now, one thing that I noticed in this video was that a lot of the young ladies, a lot of them were young couples. I feel like a lot of the women are just uneducated. They don't know. The history of slavery has been skewed. They haven't really been taught in schools. So I think that moving forward, it's important to really educate your children. Don't leave it up to the schools. Don't leave it up to any of them. You got to educate them. They got to know what's going on. So even if they do go outside the lines and they want to deal with other nationalities or races or what have you, they know what type of respect they deserve, what type of honor they should have. They know that, hey, that's no way to be treated. Like, this is disrespectful. This is really vile how these men are treating these women. But anytime a melanated man has an issue with a woman or speaks against a woman or anything, he get labeled all kind of things. It's crazy that melanated men are under such attack. Don't get me started, bro. Melanated men, listen, we didn't introduce pedophilia, but guess what? Every time one of these melanated women get mad at a melanated man, what does she say? Call him a pedophile. Call him a homosexual. Call him violent. Call him abusive. Call him a whoremonger. But at the same token, you got these sisters who don't mind being degraded in such a horrendous fashion. So, it's just about educating your people. This is not a good look at all. I am definitely taken back by this. Um, yeah, somebody said a pedo question mark, huh? Yeah, that's what happens, sis. You see it all the time. Men get labeled pedophile. Melanated men get labeled pedophiles who are not pedophiles. I've seen this many, many, many times. It's like they want melanated men to be the face of pedophilia and homosexuality. When you're looking at things as a whole, that's just not the case. That's just not the case. So that's what I was explaining to you. And if y'all want to support my work, support me at newbreed.love. All contributions are appreciated. Hopefully, y'all gain some edification and some levity to what's going on here, and just educate your people, protect your daughters, raise them right. I love you, brothers and sisters. Y'all stay safe out here. With that being said, shalom and peace.